Cosplayers, what's the creepiest thing that has happened to you at a convention? I met a kind of creepy guy at my first convention while standing in line at McDonald's. It was raining outside, so some parts of my costume, a pretty conservative made dress, were wet. As I'm trying to decide what I want to eat, the guy in front of me turns around. I hadn't paid much attention to him before, but right then and there I realized that this guy was the ultimate neckbird, the kind you thought the internet had made up. He was wearing a fedora, a brown, stained t-shirt and sweatpants. When he spoke to me, he spoke in baby talk while pouting. "Oh, is the little kitty cat wet?" He didn't say anything else after that, but he kept staring after me while I ate. 1. I wasn't wearing any kind of cat related accessories. 2. No, I do not have a picture of the guy and I didn't get any serious photos of my cosplay during the con. This is a in progress picture from when I was making the costume. It should give you a general image of what it looked like. 3. I didn't really answer him at all because the whole situation just seemed absurd and I suck at comebacks. 4. There is no one who is good looking enough to make that sentence not creepy/weird. It doesn't really count as creepy, more like intensely unconformable. I did a Constantine cosplay that I'd put way too much work into. Tracked down an off-brand raincoat from the early 80s, slept in, and carefully dry laundered a white button-up shirt for weeks, imported a carton of silk cut cigarettes, which were awful, and bleached my hair. I was so excited. Con staff assumed I was some kind of drunk hobo, and I had security telling me most of the day. You'd think the magic symbols drawn on me and flash paper in my pockets would be a giveaway that it was a costume, but apparently I pulled off the creepy almost homeless weirdo too well. Being constantly stalked by rent-a-cops didn't a fun time make. I once dressed as Wario at PAX Prime and this guy dressed as Mario kept giving me dirty looks the whole time. I'm not a cosplayer, but I'm intrigued with it. But I used to be a manager at the Hilton in downtown Houston and every year, they were the host hotel for OniCon. One year was especially bad. Some of the attendees used their real swords to cut holes in the sofas in the common areas and they actually shit in the holes. This is a 4-star hotel. Needless to say, that was their last year there. I was in a giant con costume and the placement of the button was directly over my crotch. A group of teenage girls kept on poking the button. Wasn't really creepy, but I guess me letting them poke me over and over again may have been creepy on my part. Shrugs. I went as Star-Lord to a beer release party right before Halloween, just for shits and giggles. Had the mask, orb, gun and all. This party had a heavy metal concert going at it, so it was packed with metalheads. It was awesome, because these drunk metalheads just fucking treated me like I was Star-Lord. But it was also terrifying, because these metalheads treated me like I was Star-Lord. Haha. I had pictures taken with a lot of people, and about every other photo someone would do something fucked up like grab my junk, ask to lick my gun, or tell me to look like I was choking them. It was weird. Totally worth it, though. Someone gave me free beer tickets. Well, I once met up with my girlfriend at Otakon, and I saw her before she saw me, so I went in for the hug, and she swung for my face. Apparently that had been happening a bunch. I've cosplayed as Slutty Battle Bunny Riven before. Lots of people have said suggestive things to me, but other than that there wasn't anything bad. A lot of people seemed shy to talk to me. The worst thing I got were messages from people saying they fapped to my pictures. Me and my girlfriend have cosplayed together, and she didn't get a single creepy comment or look while we were cosplaying, until she posted a pic of her cosplay to Reddit. I believe she ended up deleting the post cause of how bad it got. You bunch of creeps. I went to Anime Expo, AX, about 2/3 years ago, and it turns out this guy was walking around asking girls for hugs. He had a hidden GoPro taped to his chest recording the girls' down shirt while they went to hug him. My advice for other girls is to avoid photographers, especially old men, that don't seem to have any interest in what the con is about. Me and my friends all got propositioned by them to have a private shoot with them that clearly had a hint of them wanting to get naive girls to pose nude for them. Also a couple of them got followed/stalked by guys. One noticed a guy trying to get an upskirt picture No one of the people I hang out with wear sexy outfits, some were not even cosplaying. Many years ago I went to a con dressed as Chai from Chobits, and my boyfriend at the time was Hideki. They are the main characters slash love interest. The first day of the con, this strange teenage girl just glommed onto me and started following me everywhere. She wasn't even in costume. She kept going up to random other cosplayers and asking them to take pictures of just me and them together. Not her, just the cosplayers. This went on for well over an hour, and she just would not take a hint. If I recall, we finally got rid of her after making some excuse that we had some friends to meet. To this day I'm pretty sure there is some creepy shrine of me in costume somewhere. I ended up earning the title of Creep Magnet because of all of these. I'll try to keep them concise. Asterisk, a huge L cosplayer followed me and my friends around, made references to his milk, that women like we were eating milk pocky, so he pounced on that, tried to kiss one of the girls, and threatened to defeat the sole boy of the group using Naruto and Kakashi's combined taijutsu, so he could have his pick of the girls. Asterisk, HAD, my chest groped by a random Grell cosplayer who ran up and began grinding against me. Got bit on the shoulder so hard it scarred for a year. Asterisk, a Naruto cosplayer asked me and my friend, cosplaying Homura and Madoka, to pose as though we were kissing him while someone took a photo. Asterisk, THE England cosplayer who threatened to attack my non-cosplaying buddy with a yaoi paddle if he didn't support the empire. That's all I remember so far, but ugh. Here's another one. I was cosplaying Krona from Soul Eater when I heard a scream of Krona from across the convention hall. I turned around and squinted. I have really bad vision and I'd taken my glasses off for the costume. There were two fuzzy blobs. One blob called out, "Run, she loves you." I turned around, as though to do a joking slow motion run. Then something very heavy collided with my back. Both my knees slammed onto the cold, very hard floor of the convention hall. The girl got off of my back, asked for a hug, and left. I have to deal with my fair share of creepy guys trying to get upskirt pictures just like almost every other cosplayer. The difference is, when I catch them doing it, I just pretend to not notice and let them continue to try to not get detected. Jokes on them. When they upload those pictures later, all they'll get is frames full of penis. Dressed as Temari from Naruto, not particularly revealing or anything. Some dude comes up to me, tells me my costume is wrong and that Temari's shirt is cut lower, and before I can even react sticks his finger in the neckline of my shirt and drags it down almost to the bottom of my cleavage. Kid nearly lost his finger that day. Okay, so this was like 2010 or 2011 at Anamdita, Minnesota. It was my first convention, and my first time cosplaying. I went as Genesis from FVI Crisis Core and happened to run into a couple girls dressed as Tifa and a Genesis clone, so we stopped and talked because matching costumes and stuff. As we're talking, a big drunk neckbeard comes up to us, dressed as Jeff Lebowski, complete with the dude sign on his shirt. If you couldn't figure it out, casually as fuck, he starts hitting on Tifa, trying to be nice. We told him we needed to get going because karaoke was starting soon. Turns out he loves karaoke, and he took theater in high school. How did we find this out? After subtly alluding to it, he starts serenading her with Phantom of the Opera. Finally, I just said we were leaving to head back to our room for the night. Before he could try to follow after us, a group of girls dressed as the cast of Sailor Moon walked by, and he did the creepiest stalker pivot I've ever seen. He followed after them, and I didn't see him the rest of the night. He was hanging out in the lobby the next morning, obviously hungover. I was cosplaying Fiona, edit, from Adventure Time, not Shrek, and there was a guy that tried to take up skirt photos while I was waiting in line. Loud, public shaming is a lot of fun. I remember one year, I was dressed as a Rel 4D witch, complete with long disgusting fingers made of paint plus tinfoil. Recently married at this point, husband did not attend. I probably looked 16 or so. One guy came up to me as I was going up a staircase and insisted on helping me up the stairs, which consisted of much hand-on ass action. Me, oh, sorry, please don't do that. Him, oh, Komian, I bet you are super cute under all that makeup. Me, thanks, but I'm married. I can't wear my ring with these fingers. Him, oh, Sure, married, I bet sarcastically, continued to try grope. Me, looking around frantically. Oh, hey, Anna. How's it going? Thankfully, recognized a friend, and was able to foe. This is way less creepy than the other stories, but it was still uncomfortable. My boyfriend and our female friend dressed as Timo back in November. Note, this was not a slutty Timo costume. She had on a new tube top and fuzzy scarf, and BF did not wear a shirt, but also had a scarf on. One of the security guys came, and angrily told them to put on shirts or leave. Both of them. Because this is a convention for children. Never mind the 50 slutty Pikachu costumes we saw. Later, after going to Target and getting my boyfriend a nude colored shirt, the guy followed us around while he was off duty. He stopped BF once and yelled at him about putting shirt on, and when he showed him the guy just kept staring at him. I guess he thought he was going to randomly take the shirt back off. I don't know. It was so awkward. At an AninCon that I help run, and I'm sitting at a table in the food court with a fellow convention runner and a female friend. Female friend is cosplaying as Sailor Mars. We were discussing creepy people at cons. Then 2 minutes later a guy comes up to the table and says, I love your costume. I've been fantasizing about you since I was 13. At the time I was so shocked that all I could do is facepalm. She took it in stride, but I still can't believe that someone would say that. First con the GF talked me into cosplay with her. I decided to go simple and went as Mario, while she went as Link. Most of it went really smooth and fun with all the pictures and booth visits. Had more than one creeper mention they were picturing Mario and Link having sex, after realizing we were a couple. Some people just don't have filters. About 42 times of inappropriate ass grabbing. Don't grab people's butts. It's rude. You might not think so, but it is. Don't be rude. A group of 3 teenagers who asked me to kiss them. I told them I thought that was really awkward to ask a stranger, and they got uncomfortable and walked away. An old guy watching us help my friend get into her costume. She was wearing a black t-shirt, leggings, and a skirt. We were helping her into an overcorset and jacket. Told her she could take the corset in another 4 inches. She laughed uncomfortably and told him she still wanted to be able to breathe. He didn't get that as his cue to douche off into the distance. Said, oh, come on. You can take it in more. Just 4 more inches. At this point, I say, sorry, we are changing while friend 2 and I are looking at him with death glares. He leaves, muttering it's not like she was naked. Apostrophe. I was wearing a Master Chief cosplay. Since it had no pockets and it was really hot, I kept a bottle of water within the codpiece. Suddenly a girl runs up to me, reaches inside my codpiece and takes my bottle of water. It happened so fast and suddenly that I was stunned for like 20 seconds. I guess she really wanted my crotch water. So a couple years ago my friend was at our local Comic Con cosplaying as someone from Madoka Magica. She was walking around when suddenly she felt someone grab her butt. She turned around to see a large hairy man behind her and she said, I'm 14. And he replied, yeah, I'm 40, and walked away. It was a very odd. I always cosplay as Takeuchi from Todadora, because I'm around her size. One day at a local convention, this really creepy guy dressed as the Joker was following me and my friend, dressed as Korra, around to every single panel we went to. We weren't too creeped out, because it was a very small convention, but it got to be weird when he started sketching things on a sketch pad. He would sit directly behind us and keep sketching. Eventually things got so uncomfortable that we told the convention staff about the man who was following us. Needless to say, they didn't want to show us the drawings he did, and I really don't want to find out either.